Alright, hi everyone, Soul Super 17 here. Let me first, like usual. I did not own any of the pictures, or picture. I made the thumbnail. It's not a paid video, okay? So, here's the thing. I was thinking about basically where I wanted to go with this, and I basically found out that this was going to be like, basically Pokemon is going to continue, but no more Ash Ketchum. I made the name sound so weird, but in a sense, no more Ash. And that was completely shocking. So let me kind of just hit me that my childhood, that was ongoing for so long, just seeing Ash, going on his adventure is no more. Probably but I did find out there's going to be like a lot more episodes, but I don't get a chance to see them. So I will basically see them eventually. I just need to catch up. So I do know where I want to go with this part, but it's not going to be focusing on meet up with Ash, because there's like a lot of stuff that happens in the original series that isn't really what I can go through. So in a sense, there's just going to be me doing a lot of things that's, that's not following Ash. Basically, Lieutenant Surge is basically going to be one of those fights. It's going to be after Pikachu wins, at least a day after, because basically Ash will basically be on a ship already by then. So yeah, let's us basically get this started. So this is what if I was in isekai into Pokemon. Part 4, 3, whatever. Before I go on, I basically came up with an idea for basically before Christmas. So I may make another one, isekai, or I'm just going to go back and basically work on a couple of old ones. And, yeah. So, hold up. Wait, never mind. Alright. So, let's just get this started. Anyway, so last time we left off is, I basically didn't watch part of the last video. I do remember though from it, basically Pikachu, also got second gym before Lieutenant Surge. So in a sense, yeah, basically it's like we're gonna basically go on that journey to face him in Vermilion City. So, in a sense, yep, but, yeah, so basically we basically slept outside, and I'm like, okay, morning everyone, let's have some breakfast, and then let's basically get this journey started. Who's with me on this? Which all the Pokemon, say, yeah! So basically I, feed them, basically make my own breakfast. With their help. So after that, I'm basically, packing up, even basically everything that I've been able to carry in my infinite storage backpack, and I'm like, wait a minute, Mount Moon. Oh my god, I forgot the Magikarp! Which they're like, huh? Rex is like, what do you mean about the Magikarp? I'm like, I forgot, I could have paid 500 $Poké for it. Which, basically, Rotom! It basically, comes over, flying towards me, he's like, yes? Like, fast travel point? Please tell me it's actually behind Mount Moon, before the Poké Center. Where she goes like, checking? Yes, it is. Would you like to go there? I'm like, of course, let's go! And basically, I, get basically the Pokemon that I wanted, with me. We basically jump into the portal, and right when I basically exit out of it, I'm like, Mount Moon. At least I don't have to go basically following anything else more now. Which then I just hear someone be like, I can't believe it! Nobody wants to buy this Magikarp from me! You worthless piece of crap! Basically, he just throws the Pokeball. And I'm like, huh? as I just catch it, he basically walked in already into the Pokemon Center, and I'm like, free, free Magikarp. I just jump right into the portal, just basically before he comes back out, like, no, I need to basically get, like, my Pokemon, Poké Dollars. And he basically looks for it, he's like, did it roll away too far? So he goes looking, he does not find it. So basically after that, I'm like, Pokemon register, right? Which he nods. And I'm like, yes. So, in a sense, I now have a Magikarp. Yay. So, after I, kind of basically trying to think of a name for the Magikarp, I'm like, nah. For right now, no. Anyways, I do get out the team. Well, every Pokemon. Basically, we go back to where it was outside of the city, where the second gym was. I'm like, okay, guys, here's the thing. Well, the next gym badge is an electric type gym, and in the anime, there was a Raichu only. In the games, depends on which version you're playing, there's other ones. I think there's gonna fall more of the anime on this one, maybe, but we're not ready for the gym yet. Besides, travel time in the game was easy, but in real life, or should I say, here, it's gonna probably take us 2 weeks. So you ready for the journey? Because all we're gonna do is basically non-stop, well, fighting off other Pokemon and trainers and train. Which I just look at in no scam like. Also, we're basically gonna also have to basically, learn. Well, help me learn some fighting type moves, which Inosuke nods. Just give me a minute. Alright, so basically, like I said, Inosuke nods, which is Mankey, and I really do have a set of moves for basically the Pokemon. It's just the fact is, I'm not gonna be doing anything to them, so, basically to the set moves after this video's over though, I will. Because I'm gonna make them all basically the exact same level. So, yeah, so basically, I will be basically learning at least from Mankey at least 2 moves, low kick and karate chop. So yeah, I'll be able to mimic them. Anyways, so basically for these past 2 weeks, I've been training my Pokemon. I got the Magikarp. Wait, actually, let me just type that in. Actually, no, wait, better yet. So, basically, if you know from the game, Magikarp, basically, from what I know and what I played, Magikarp was basically at a low level. So, he was level 5 in the game. So I have him at level 5. Basically, we wouldn't meet anybody that Ash meets in the anime because I'm letting him do his thing. So basically, I'm just getting all my Pokemon up to a basically certain level. And I basically am learning whatever I can too. So basically, I'm having my Pokemon get stronger. Basically, I'm also making sure each of my Pokemon basically can evolve into their next evolution before Surge, Lieutenant Surge's fight. Basically, I do meet a couple of trainers along the way. But basically during let's say only 5 days has passed. So during basically the 5th day after lunch, Rotom basically comes over to me. He's like, "Soul, got a message from you from Arceus." I'm like, huh? Which basically all of a sudden, basically it turns around and his video is playing. And they're like, Arceus, what's wrong? He goes, young, not young, but, hello there. I basically have a couple of things for you to do. Because you are going to be quite, well, how should I say, bored for these past 2 weeks, besides training. At least then this will actually help you. He goes, okay. Some missions I'm giving you. You see, those Pokemon poachers that you basically encountered with that Pikachu. I want you basically to, well, stop them at any chance you can get. Take down basically certain locations that they're nearby, and help free the Pokemon. You may even get a couple of new ones, through this way. He goes, that is true. Is there anything else I will get from it then? He goes, oh yes, quite a bit. More supplies, food, and maybe a couple more Pokeballs. Maybe get better yet, even some Great Balls. I'm like, yeah, basically. I'm just saying that to myself. Maybe even TMs and also berries. That would be good too. Which was excellent idea. Now, basically, there's going to be a set list, and I'm also adding another feature to the phone. I'm like, okay, what is it? It's quite simple. Basically, it's called Treasure Gather. Well, Treasure Locate and Treasure Gather. He goes, huh? What? He goes, yes. This would be an automatic finding location of a treasure that is nearby or item of any use. And the gather part will be automatically put into your storage. All you have to do is just go into what has been located, or should I say what has been gathered, and, well, see what's there. There'll be quite a few items that you'll be able to sell, so you won't have to worry about money-wise. And also, you basically are ranking up pretty well in the World Series Cup. Still in basically, well, beginner level. But like I said, you still are rising quite fast. I'm like, thanks. Now then, though, I do hope basically you enjoy your day, and I'll be watching just in case of anything you need. Good day to you. Basically, he just leaves. I'm like, wow. So now we got treasure. We also basically got, gathering. And I have some missions. Well, I mean, basically I have ranked up quite a bit. I need to go back into the last video to make sure what rank I was, but I will basically say I basically have faced like maybe 3 trainers. So I'm probably around in maybe almost into the 8,000, well, 8 million marker. Somewhere around there. I remember it's basically I made it really high. Like 9 million something. So let's say I'm in like almost 8 million. I'm at like 9,117 marker. Well, you know what I mean, like 9 something 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 117. So yeah. So anyways, so while this is all happening, I mean, I do find the bases basically on the map, and I do get quite a bit of like treasures, and I do get a lot more cash. So yeah. So basically, eventually, after I basically fighting through some people, saving some Pokemon, I do believe it won't be like 3 bases. I mean, not 3 bases, only 2. And I wouldn't really have that much trouble. And finding random trainers, a few more, doesn't really get me that far. Because they were lower than me. So, yeah. I do get technically all my Pokemon by the time I get to basically Surge up to around level 30. Alright? Why we get them to level 30? Because I don't want to deal with basically, I want to one-shot the Raichu. Now, just give me a minute. Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, I made all the Pokemon to be up to level 30. But, I just did not write down all the moves because I'm only going to be using one. And also, I mean, I would have to go backtrack into Mount Moon for one reason. because Nidorino, how to evolve them. You know, need a Moonstone, and also need a way to basically get Poliwhirl. Basically to its final evolution to basically be, an actual like Waterstone. Basically, Golbadge's friendship level. It actually shows in the Pokemon Dex app I have. So yeah, Pidgeotto, second evolution, Rattata, final, Butterfree, So basically, it's also kind of before Charmeleon becomes Charizard. But anyways, so yeah, basically, I do basically fight a couple of people, but they don't really give out XP because they're only like level like 20 something. So it's really hard, to like even level them up even to like level, 31 at this time, including the people that I faced, and for the whole entire, um, Poke Poachers that have actual multiple bases. And I really find out basically more information about Team Rocket, base and such, even that they're trying to create the ultimate Pokemon, in which I'm thinking, wait, could that be like Mewtwo? Maybe this is why Arceus wanted me to, come here. So in a sense, at this point in time, I have gained a couple of TMs, and basically I think HMs basically, and some berries and such, even rare candies. I've been finding out a lot of things, like basically to help me out in my journey. But it's only, like I said, in 2 bases. That's all I find. Like maybe 3 TMs or 3 different moves, 1 HM, and berries, and like 3 fudging candies, rare candies basically. So, I mean, basically though, I would be like, basically it's been like, after the whole entire talk with Arceus, it's been like maybe next week. Next week happened, I'm basically on my way back to, not on my way back to, I'm on my way to basically to go face Lieutenant Surge, but then I realized, wait, I don't have a Moonstone to get Nidorino. Gotta go back to Mount Moon. So yeah, that's what I do. I drop back to Mount Moon, and I literally search for a Moonstone, which does take a couple of days. Well, at least a day. And basically, after I find it, I'm like, yes, a Moonstone! So yeah. Basically, just Rex, like, we're back here again? Like, sorry. It's like, why do you need this? And like, Moonstone, help me get Nidorino up to, well, the final evolution. It's like, oh, by the way, our move sets, are you going to like, nope, don't even care. I already have basically one move set I'm going to basically be using for basically the Pikachu versus Raichu fight. It basically, Ash Pikachu can verse, a Raichu. My Pikachu can verse a Raichu. Seriously? What? Why not use Graveler? Wait, yeah, Graveler. Something they said I actually can, uh, I just want to, do for nostalgic sake. I can't blame you, but still. I know Graveler will be better, but come on. Watching basically an evolution Pokemon basically beat, basically the second form of basically of a, Raichu, the second form of the Pichu evolution, Pichu into Pikachu, Pikachu into Raichu. It's like, fine. Just, it goes, and besides, basically, there's like a whole bunch of the movesets I actually been skipping over for you guys. He goes, huh? I'm gonna do it later. Which is like, so you literally just been keeping us at like the from the experience we gained and such, you've been not letting us learn our new moves. He was like, exactly, because there's some stuff that I have a feeling that's gonna happen that I know I can do it later, and which we're not gonna really do that much fighting after Lieutenant Surge. Huh? How? Lucky guess? You never know. Okay, fair enough. Let's just go. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I basically travel back into basically the last. Basically, I kind of like go to somehow in some way. Basically, I'm like, wait a minute, is this a new feature? Which basically, Rotom goes like, oh yeah, seems that way when we basically teleport or fast travel from. We basically have a marker there to travel back to. It's like sweet. So it basically says return. So that's what we do. We return back over to where we basically teleported from. So yeah, so after that, we basically make it to basically Vermilion City. And, well, I mean, I get all my Pokemon, healed up, ready to go. Basically, I think, Nurse Joy will be like, excuse me, why haven't you basically not been putting your Pokemon to send over to the professor that you basically got your Pokedex from, which I go like, it's complicated. She goes, how complicated? I was like, I got a Rotom phone, so, which, he was like, oh, so that means you'll be able to carry your Pokemon with you. It's like, yeah. It's like, I see, my apologies for that. And I'm like, it's fine, Nurse Joy, but, thank you for basically healing my Pokemon for me. We've been traveling for quite a while, which she basically goes like, it's no problem, but, maybe you should basically give the professor that you got, the Pokedex from. It's like, right. So I literally go over and call up Professor Oak. When Professor Oak basically, answers, it's like, Soul, how are you, my boy? He's like, I'm fine. Caught a couple of Pokemon. Which was like, really now? He's like, yeah. Basically I just tell him how many Pokemon I caught. And then basically I the whole entire, Magikarp caught, quote unquote, which I told him, which he kind of just chuckles. He goes, well, I mean, his loss is your game. And I'm like, yep. Anyways, though, I'm going to be facing against the third, basically, gym leader of mine. And I'm going to be using Pikachu, as I just have, Pikachu on my shoulder, which, with this scarf, so it's, bandana around its neck and such. But she goes, is that a shiny? It's like, yep. It's like, my boy, that's a rare kind. And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, no. I just want to call and see how you're doing. How's Ash, though? He's like, well, he basically tells me how Ash Adventure's going and such, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just trained. And I basically learned two, fire type moves already. Low kick and karate chop. I'm actually going to think about, finding a fire type Pokemon gym, or at least a training area, to see if I can actually learn with them. So I at least have a better advantage when I don't have any Pokemon to fight with. Which basically Professor Oak goes like, that is true. You do need to learn that. Now, I'll let you go and be off. Basically, have your fun. And always remember, call me whenever basically you want to chat, or tell me an update, or just, need some advice. Thanks, Professor Oak. So obviously I hang up. So now, I'm like, now then, let's go to Surge's place and basically win our third gym badge. Which basically, Pikachu goes like, right. Basically Rex goes like, this is going to be fun to watch. I just kind of look at him like, really? He goes, what? I'm watching. I just sigh like, okay. So, yeah, we go over to basically Surge's place. And, well, basically I say, I'm challenging you. Sergeant, well, not me, Surge, basically. Not Sergeant, but, probably said to Tefu or something beforehand. But, basically it's just Surge. Which basically Surge goes like, huh? Another challenger today? What's this, like the third one today? Which basically one of the people was like, yeah, after they see they heard about what we've been doing, not many, Pokemon trainers are coming by. Which, I'm like, probably to train up their Pokemon to get even stronger with you. Which, Surge was like, well, no one can beat my Raichu. Says that one kid that beat me. Interesting kid. Which I'm like, huh. Yeah, anyways. So, Sergeant Surge, wanna fight? Pokemon battle? He goes, yeah, choose your Pokemon. I literally have Pikachu on my shoulder. He basically jumps down. He's like, a Pikachu? Well, I would have basically been laughing at you, but he seems like a strong one. Alright, I'll bite. So basically, the referee says, alright, basically, this is basically a match between the challenger, basically Soul, right? He goes, yeah, Soul. Soul from Palatown versus basically gym leader, Surge. As I'm just like thinking in my head, this is gonna be maybe easy. So, in a sense, Surge basically have Raichu come out. I have Pikachu. The battle basically goes like this. I literally tell Pikachu to use double team. Basically, as in the anime, multiple versions of Pikachu is around. Then before even Surge can even say anything to Raichu, I says, now use basically quick attack. And yeah, all the Pikachus are starting to use quick attack, moving around and such. As I said, then say it's a circle around Surge. Basically, then he tells basically Raichu to use Thunder Shock, or Thunderbolt, whatever will work. As it hits one, misses, hits another one, misses, and such. Keeps going. As I said, now use Iron Tail with quick attack, which basically Pikachu comes out of from the double team and basically hits Raichu in the back. And basically it goes like, now use Tail Whip, basically, and it does lower its defense. Wait. Yeah. No, attack power. Or is that Leer? Leer is basically, I think, attack. Defense is basically Tail Whip. It can be defense / Tail Whip. Alright, I'm just making sure. If it is one, yeah, I'm just not really looking it up. I'm just want to make this. So in a sense, it, yeah, that does, Surge is actually kind of shocked that, it knows Iron Tail and Quick Attack. Well, Mason, Double Team. Basically, what happens next is that he basically would try to tell his Pikachu to get close and use basically Body Slam on it. With my Pikachu, I basically tell him to get away with Quick Attack, and then basically try to lead it away from you. So basically, Raichu does try to follow after my Pikachu. It runs after and such, and then basically I would just look and say, "We're at the wall," basically. Which Pikachu just goes, "Right!" And basically it does that with Quick Attack. Raichu's following right after it, but, from a good distance. Until I said, basically until it gets to the wall, is I tell him to stop and wait for it. So, after basically a few minutes of waiting, Raichu's about to get close and pounce on, my Pikachu. And it says, use Quick Attack to get away, then use Iron Tail. Basically, yeah, it hit the wall, but then I, make it hit the wall. Pikachu hits the Raichu, hitting the wall a little bit more harder. Then I basically then say, use Iron Tail again to finish this off. So, yeah, another hit. Victory. Basically, I defeated Surge with Iron Tail. Which Surge's like, I can't believe it. Another challenger to defeat me with a Pikachu. Man, you are something. I never expected you to actually be, quick thinking and, how should I say, a little bit more brutal on the attacks. It was, sorry, but technically using the environment is basically the best thing I can do. especially with your Pokemon being, how should I say, an evolution basically above my Pikachu. Where she just nods like, well, doesn't matter. Battle's a battle. So yeah, he basically gives me my third gym badge, and they say like, yeah, I got my third gym badge. Basically. So before I even leave, I literally would give him basically a potion for Raichu, and walk away. So after that, I like now then. Well, Ash is gonna be doing a couple stuff on the way, so I do think we can basically just travel around and find some more like locations. Heck, even basically do some of these missions that basically Arceus wants to do. Find a home? Oh yeah, I have no home to go to after my journey to rest. Alright. First off, let's just stay in this town, sell off all the items I basically can sell, and see how much money I can get. So, basically around, I do get money from search, I would say, 4,743 Poké Dollars. When I sold 77,000 Poké Dollars of just miscellaneous items. I'm like, alright then. So that leaves me about, let's just say, almost a good middle. Like 99,875.63 cents. So yeah, I'm like, alright. So, as I literally basically though looking at the description of where it says find a home. Basically, you are basically up in this world without no home. You do not know where you're gonna go to afterwards, and you basically, after your travels, before you go into your new journey, you are going to need to basically go somewhere to rest and relax before you have to leave. Find a journey in any other region will be even, a home in any other region will be acceptable for this quest to be complete. Reward. I just look at it, it goes like, clues to basically find on, to your mission. Yeah, I should probably ask around town if they basically heard, any legends or such. So that's what I do, and literally no one in town had anything to say about basically I say like ancient Pokemon or such, came from the sky or something like that. As everyone just nodded, no, they don't know. So I just sigh. I'm like, alright, well, I'm outside basically Vermilion City, so let's see. Which region would I want to go to if I want to live there? The next region over? No. I want to be somewhere at least a little bit warm. Good, basically, scenery. I guess, basically, oceans? A lot of, basically, places to walk to. And, a whole new, basically, bunch of Pokemon. As then I realized, I just described a Alola. So I literally basically, grabbed my Rotom phone out of my pocket and like, hey Rotom, you think we have basically a waypoint to, fast travel point over to Alola? Which he's like, let me see. As it goes to the map and then basically, goes to Alola and then there's a fast, travel point. I'm like, was that already there? Did Arceus already know? Where, Rotom says, that could be possible, but still. You have to admit, Lola is a pretty nice place to live at. And I'm like, true. So, after basically I hit, the whole entire teleport over, I literally am like, okay. So, am I in Alola? And I am. In the jungle. Great. I basically bring out Pikachu and Rex. Charmeleon. I'm like, alright, guys. We're in the forest, and we're gonna have to move forward. Wanted to bring you guys out, so that way it's, easy. Basically to talk to and help out if needed, alright? Which Rex goes like, no problem. Which Pikachu goes like, right. And maybe we can find some more information here on the island. It's like, true. So, we basically travel. Meanwhile, someone or something has been watching. Keeping an eye on us since it basically saw me come out of the wormhole / portal. As I'm basically walking around, I'm like, okay, so where are we on basically Alola? Okay, so if we just keep following this way, we're gonna reach a town nearby. No, wait, a house? At the beach? Why does that sound familiar? Doesn't matter. So, we just travel a bit until then we hear something, like a Pokemon noise. I'm like, Rex and Pikachu are getting ready. As I recognize that voice, Pokemon, I'm like, Tapu Koko? Which all of a sudden, Tapu Koko comes out. I'm like, crap, the Guardian. Hey, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I'm. I know it may seem weird, but which I hear Tapu Koko was like, why are you here? Like, oh, to find a home. I'm basically just came here to see if I can basically find one. In which Tapu Koko was like, is that all? He's like, sort of, and sightseeing. Which, it tilts its head like, I thought it'd be something more. I'm like, yeah. Nah, just, not really, just basically traveling and finding a place to live. Plus, sightseeing. Is that so hard to do? Which Tapu Koko looking at me in curiousness, and then looks at the Pikachu and Charmeleon, then looks back at me. He was like, "Well, be safe on your travels. Good day," and disappears. I'm like, oh, we're Pokemon. Moment, I mean. Which both Rex and Pikachu would nod. So, I would say I arrive at the house, and I'm like, seriously, this looks so familiar. As then when I knock on it, I hear a familiar voice. It's like, come in! I'll be right there soon. As I see, he opens the door. He's like, oh, hello there. Who are you? It's like, hi, I'm Soul. You? Ah, Professor Kukui. It's nice to meet you, Soul. It's like, nice to meet you too. Hey, do you mind if I come in? I'm kind of lost. So, alright. So basically, he lets me come in. He was like, basically tells me to sit down. He's like, so, how you got lost? He's like, well, that's a very long story, and I don't think you have much time for it. Which he basically was like, that may be true, but I'm willing to listen. And like, nah, it's too long, trust me. So, he basically, we just started talking. Yeah, I'm basically just asking him some questions about Lola, while he's asking me questions about myself. And, well, kind of a funny situation for me is, I'm like, so he goes, because he says, so you got nowhere to live, and you basically have Pokemon, basically you're keeping in your bag, and you basically want to have a place, to basically send them when you don't need them anymore, or at least you don't take them on your journey. He's like, right. But, honestly, though, I don't know where to live. I like it here at Lola because of the scenery and basically, the oceans and such and the people. In which he goes, so you want to find a place here? Buy a place? He was like, well, I mean, I'm only 10 and I don't have no parents. Maybe hard to buy a place. But she was like, wait, you have no parents? I go, yeah, an orphan from Palatown. Which was, how did you get here? He's like, that's a part of the long story. You probably won't believe me if I tell you, so, I won't. Which basically Professor Kukui would nod, I think, in understanding. He's like, alright, well, at least let me show you around for the next couple of days of Lola. It's like, alright, that'd be great. So, I do stay at Professor Kukui's place, and we somewhat, starting to get like a friendship, but it's actually kind of hard to tell. So, I would just ask him questions and such on what he thinks. He would nod, basically give his own opinion. So, I do say, when I think it's about time I should leave and get on my journey to find a place, because I was slacking off for a couple of days, he's like, hey, where you going? He's like, well, I'm gonna get out of here, Professor Kukui. So, I'm gonna, go look around and basically find a place. Which goes, well, I would say good luck, but I got a question to ask you. He goes, sure, what is it? He goes, well, you said you're from Palatown, an orphan, right? He goes, yeah. And basically you've been traveling around, and you somehow got here to Alola. He's like, yeah. Maybe something in my head, crap, did he figure it out? He goes, so. I mean, I'm still kind of wondering to this day on how you basically got here, but, I mean, I don't have to worry about it very much. So, my question is, do you want to live here at least? He's like, huh? Which he basically starts to explain how I still can do basically the Pokemon League and do what I'm doing in basically Kanto. As long as basically I come back to the, after my journey, or at least whenever I want to take a quick break and such, just call him ahead of time. Like, so wait, you're gonna let me stay here as your son? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna adopt you. Well, I mean, at least got the paperwork already done. He's like, wait, what? Well, you say, as soon as I basically saw you and you explained how you had no parents, I immediately wanted to adopt you. Well, not immediate. I'm still worried at first, but you basically get along with him. Basically along from the other one of my other basically people I know. Which I'm like, yeah. I mean, that would be perfectly fine, and I get along with someone he's like, which basically he just kind of just chuckles. He's like, don't worry about it. So, let's basically get everything ready. It's like, alright. So I would do the paperwork, sign my signature and such, and all that. And it does take a while for everything to happen. So, I would say it would basically it'll be around basically the point in time for Ash is where he would basically have been dealing with Big Giant Tentacruel. So I'm getting adopted by Professor Kukui. He's like, alright, so that's done. Now, let's go to meet the Kohona. Yeah, the Kohona. Yeah, I cannot say his name, but basically the guy who gives out the Z moves. Alright? Which I'm like, wait, you mean the guy who basically gives out the Z moves? It's like, right. You know a lot of stuff already. I'm like, like I said, it's a lot of stuff that no. It's like, alright then. I'm not gonna ask basically, how you know it, but I'm just gonna believe in you. Like, seriously, just like that? He goes, well, I have to believe my own son, now do I? I'm like, yeah, I'm, thanks. I mean, it's just kind of, well, non-surreal yet, not real in your mind. She's like, yeah. So, what's the basically the Kohana? Wait, yeah, the Kohana, basically the chief. It's like, his name is Hala. The Kahuna, yeah, basically, yeah, his name is Hala. I'm like, huh, Hala? He's like, yes, Hala. It's like, oh, well, so let's go. So basically, we basically rode in his car. So we drive over back to where the Kohana was. You know, basically, he basically goes like, Kukui, it's been a while. He's like, hello, Hala, how have you been? He's like, I've been good. You? It's been good. I adopted a son. I adopted a kid today. He's like, really? Because, yeah, look. As basically he sees me, I go like, hi. But Pikachu and Charmeleon are out. Which he was like, he looks like a fine young man. Kahui. And like, he basically goes like, yeah. So, how's everything with you today? He's like, I'm doing fine. He just came back to show me off, your new son and such. He was like, yep, he's in Palatown. But he was in Palatown doing, well, the Pokemon League there, which he had, kind of just, look at him, Kukui, then looks at me, and then looks back at Kukui. He's like, how did he basically, I mean, before he can ask, he goes, Kukui just says this. He says it's complicated. He goes, nothing can be that complicated. As before I can even say anything, all of a sudden, a message from Arceus comes on. Well, Arceus calling. He's like, hello, Soul. It's like, bad time in Arceus. He goes, oh? Yes, still looking for a home, I see. He's like, yeah, I may have gotten one. In which I kind of pointed the phone over to Hala and basically Kukui. He's like, oh, that's what he meant by bad timing. I see. Well, should I explain everything? So, yeah, I'll just be there when I'm explaining stuff, everything, which he goes, alright. So, Kukui and Hala just look at me like, let's go inside. Which basically they both nod. So after basically we sit down, which basically Hala's like, so, boy, you want to tell me what's going on? Which which Arceus is still on the line and such. Which Kukui's basically just looking at me, I just sigh, I'm like, well, I guess there's no point, keeping a secret, but, I'm from a different world. Which, that kind of shocks both of them, and basically, Hala's like, that's technically impossible, right? Which, I'm like, no. Arceus, which goes, alright. So basically, he explains what's going on. In which, after he explains it all, Hala's like, an ancient Pokemon that you created fell from the sky. I see. I think we have some legends of that time at least. Which he goes over to his shelf and basically takes out a book. And shows that the beast basically fell from the sky. Like, basically Pikachu told. But the thing is, there's more to it. There's basically showing figures right in front of the Pokemon. Basically, when we flip to the next page, we see them basically scattered around scattered to different regions. Which I'm like, wait, what? Which basically Arceus goes like, oh no, don't tell me it created Pokemon. Which I'm like, so you mean to tell me I have Pokemon to fight that basically Apocalypse made? Which basically Kukui and Hollow like Apocalypse. I'm like, the name of the Pokemon I have to fight or capture too. Great. So that means it made its own Pokemon. As I'm just sitting down and such, in the chair, which Kukui's like, well, I mean, at least you can never say your Pokemon journey is never exciting. I'm like, yeah, hardy har har. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just. Which he just nods and says, it's understandable. I would say then all of a sudden Rex goes like, hey, doesn't this look like a Pokemon that we basically would know? Which I'm like, huh? So I look over and picture, and basically I see the long tail, and I'm like, no way. So I look over the Pokédex and I look at it. The picture basically, looks ancient and not a very good picture, but the features match because it would show one of them basically going over in the direction. That's what I mean. So I'm like this. Is that? No, it can't be Articuno. In which basically Pikachu's like, wait, Articuno? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, that's strange. I've been at the mural. Basically, it showed basically a weird Pokemon. It wasn't normal. I mean, it didn't really look like a Pokemon I've seen because they said it had 3 different elements: ice, fire, and lightning. I didn't understand why, but which I'm just like, wait, don't. Ah, that means it can use basically the other 2 legendary Pokemon's type, which that causes Hala and Kukui to be shocked. Which people was like, wait, what? Which even Rex is shocked. I'm like, think about it. It created a Pokemon. It created its own Pokemon. You really don't think it's not going to get other type advantages to not be so defeated so easily? Which, it makes sense. This Pokemon's smart. I do not know how long it has left to basically until it wakes up. And I think I'm running out of time. Well, not as fast as I think, but still. This is going to be a little bit of a problem. That means I'm going to have to find these Pokemon. Seriously though, where is basically your home, Pikachu? Which I think basically Kukui and Hala are like, just realizing, wait, you're talking to the Pokemon? I'm like, yeah, one of the abilities that Arceus says, right? Wait, did you tell them I could talk to Pokemon? I was like, Arceus goes like, oh no, I didn't. I was going to. I'm like, yeah, I can talk to Pokemon. Which that kind of shocks them both, but then Kukui just chuckles, be like, well, you are becoming one interesting kid. Now then, though, you were sent here for basically this reason, and I'm not gonna stop you. You basically started this journey. You basically started the journey, so I'm not gonna stop. Just promise me you won't get into anything danger. I'm like, uh, yeah. I promise I won't get into anything too dangerous. If I know I'm not gonna survive, I'm gonna leave right away, or at least try. Which goes, that's good. But hey, how about you spend a couple more days here in Alola, and, well, I'll help you even find a Pokemon. He goes, wait, seriously? He goes like, yeah. How about I give you we find a Rockruff. I'm like, doggo? He's like, huh? Sorry, I like dogs. It's like, which basically he just kind of grins like, alright, so, let's go. Basically I'm like, yeah, let's. So, I mean, after basically, I think basically Hala, I basically Pikachu asked, so we're really gonna get another Pokemon? He's like, more like a travel companion for right now. It's like, huh? One Pokemon that I won't fight with. There's a good reason why. Which he basically goes like, which Rex goes like, huh? Why? It's like, well, I mean, I know basically Pokemon are all around the world. But, and basically the Pokedex have almost every single one in them. But what happens if, well, I mean, I use basically a different region Pokemon. I know it's not against anything, but still. It's gonna be, I mean, probably maybe, a little bit of trouble, a pain. But hey, I mean, I'll find a way basically how to make it work. Which basically Rex and basically Pikachu nod. So, yeah. A little bit of time passes. I would say at least a day. As, not a day, I mean like at least 2 days. As Pikachu me, not Rex. Rex was in the Pokeball sleeping, and Kukui basically find a Rockruff. And like, okay, so do you think? Like, basically, I kind of look at it. So I look at the stats. I'm like, yeah, it's maybe a. I mean, this is gonna be quite an easy thing. It's like basically Pikachu just nods. So I would tell Pikachu to go in to use Quick Attack right away, which it does, and it hits, which basically it does a good amount of damage. Then I say keep it up. I mean, if you can't basically hit it with Quick Attack no more, try to use Iron Tail. So it does hit with Quick Attack for a few minutes, a few more hits until it starts to dodge. Then it uses Iron Tail right when it dodges. Basically make it fly into a tree as it hits. Then I basically tell it to use. Well, since Thunder Wave and basically Thunder Shock won't work, I basically tell it to use Double Team. Well, not it. I mean, tell Pikachu to use Double Team. As it gets confused, it tries to hit with Sand Attack. It misses. Then I tell it to use Quick Attack again. It's like slamming it back into the tree. Knocking it out. So I throw a Pokeball and catch it. One shake, basically. One shake, two shake, then three. And click, basically. And I'm like, yes, I just caught a Rockruff. Now, let's get him to the Pokemon Center. Which basically, Professor Kukui is like, right. And good job. Also, quick thinking, they say make it go to a tree. I'm like, that was just improv. Besides, I really feel bad for what I had to do it like that. I mean, I could use some of my other Pokemon, but some of them are, well, movesets I don't really know yet. I haven't really changed them. Even Pikachu's, if there's any. So, I mean, this is kind of the most easiest thing. Which, I mean, Professor Kukui nods. So, after that, we basically go, get Rockruff healed, even Pikachu. And I would just, bring out Rockruff. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Which goes, why did you capture me? I'm like, well, I mean, you were there, and I mean, I thought it'd be, you might be going on an adventure. But she goes, wait, you can talk to me? We're like, yep. So, that means anything I say, I go, yep, I can hear you. He goes like, then why you? Goes like, I'm kind of in a rush today. I would have really just asked you if you wanted to come or not, but I'm in a rush. Which goes like, so, what am I going to do? Am I going to battle yet? It's like, no, you're just going to be watching me battle, and you're mostly going to be more of a travel companion for a while. Which goes, really? He goes, yeah, probably in the next region I'll basically fight with, have you fight, at least to get you stronger. I mean, or basically come here to train with you. He goes, wait, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm going to Kanto, which is like all of a sudden it's like, Kanto? What's that? A different region? He's like, really? He goes, yeah. So, you want to? He goes, I want to come. I'm like, so you want to come with me on a journey? He's like, yes. Okay, I really just realized what I just said, but it's like, I want to come, basically, I want to come, like a kid, basically. Which I just asked, wait, how old are you? It's like, 6? Oh, wow, you're just a kid. It's like, yeah. Huh. So no wonder why you're very active. He's like, uh-huh. Like, so kids are active. Basically, that means also Pokemon Dog's active. Yeah, there's gonna be some weird things happening. He goes, what do you mean? He's like, nothing. Nothing at all. Basically. So you don't take that out of context, everyone. It's like saying, just have Rob saying he just wants to come with, or just wants to come, for the journey and such. So yeah. But he just says those want to. That's all he says, basically. Doesn't say I want to come with or such. It's just too much excitement. Understandable. Kid. So yeah. So after that, I basically looked at Professor Cuckoo after putting him back in his Pokemon. I'm like, well, looks like I'm gonna get going now. It's like, keep in touch, will ya? Like, yeah, got your number, got everything with me, and thanks for taking me in at least. He goes, anything else I should know before you leave? We're like, sometime in the future, I'll stay here, and I'm coming to the Pokemon school. By the way, how old do I need to be, a part of the Pokemon school? He's like, well, it's gonna be a high school, but we're gonna have it basically where kids are basically older at least. He's like, really? He goes, yeah. So, when are you coming around? It's like, right around Ash Ketchum comes around. He's like, alright. Well then, I'll wait till that day. But seriously though, keep in touch. I'll be worried about you, every 3 days. No less. It's like, right. I got you on my phone. I'll see ya. It's like, right. So I basically hug him saying bye. He just passed my head and he goes like, oh, see ya, kid. Kiddo. Basically, open up the portal and jump through. Basically has a smile on his face, but like, that's my kid. So he basically goes to his car and, drives off. Me, I land back in Kanto. I bring out Rockruff. He goes like, well, Rockruff, this is Kanto. He's like, oh wow, so different. Wait, is this a forest? He was like, yep. He's like, wow, different Pokemon. Not the same as basically Alola, right? That's what you call it? Alola? It's like, yeah. It's like, well then, can we get moving? It's like, alright, next gym, here we come. Basically, yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave it off, everyone. Hope you guys enjoy it. You guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Sorry, for not making it longer. I will basically do the move sets later. So, I will basically, put it, in. So, yeah. So, no one has to worry. Move sets are going to be, known. And I will basically have to look through it. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Later today or tomorrow. I'm just gonna go to bed now. So this probably won't even come out till like later. Before I go to bed, I'm gonna probably watch something beforehand. So bye. Have a nice day and everything.